Okay, guys, we are back with Doc and the Boxer, episode 47. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Doc and the Boxer, or send us an email at all lowercase Doc and the Boxer at gmail.com. I'm Andrew Singh Kooner, and
I'm the
this
dog.
is Doc and the Boxer.
You got it.
And we made the tandem some of the best tandems in sports, like Jordan and Pippen, and that's us. Okay, so
Merchant and what's his name? Bernstein or whatever his name.
Larry and Kellerman.
And Kellerman.
No, Lampley.
There's Lampley. Yeah. We're Lampley and Kellerman.
Yeah. Lampley is speaking of Lampley, Triller, he's gonna be the color commentator for Triller, which is amazing.
That is amazing. Hopefully Triller will last too, right?
Hopefully it does last. I mean, we'll talk about that, but this weekend there's a whole bunch of fights, and Triller is making their debut with a big fight on the beginning. Anyways, so we're back. Well, we're gonna jump right into talking about Shakur. Did you know his nickname is Fearless? Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that nickname. Shakur Fearless Stevenson. He retains his WBO interim super featherweight championship. He's from New York, New Jersey, improves now to 16-0, 8 KOs with unanimous decision over on all three cards, 120 to 107 over Jermia low-key Nakathila from Namibia, who now falls at 21, 2, and 17 KOs. And then we'll do what we normally do, and then we just ask if you saw this dog and what your opinion is on this fight and Shakur.
You got it. I'm very impressed with Shakur Stevenson. I don't like all the criticism he gets, like for you should have knocked this guy out. I hate that. That guy did have power, and you see it in his record. He had a lot of KOs, right? Definitely. But Shakur's was in a different league. He reminds me of a young Floyd Mayweather.
And there's comparisons.
Right? He takes care of defense. His in-out movement is fast. He's very quick. He has some sharpness to his punches. He loves that cross, that 2-3 combination. Yeah. And it was effective all night. He was hitting him with that hook all night. Check hook as well. Yeah. A excellent performance. I don't care what others criticized him for. It was an excellent performance. And because of the way he fought, he's going to have a long career.
Okay. You're 100% right, Doc, about that. And I feel the same way about Shakur. And I thought it was a brilliant performance when you broke it down and you just watched all the small little things he did. And the control of distance by him, in and out, getting that distance, the control in the distance is impeccable. He barely gets hit. And you're talking about longevity in the sport, and that the thing that we got to talk about is that Nakathila was a huge punter, 17 KOs and 21 fights, and Shakur talked about that, the reasons why. But fans want to see, and it doesn't have to be like go reckless and get hit, but they want to see a killer instinct too. Where, to me, Shakur didn't really show, but he spoke about it. He says this, like, I was being a little bit careful because at the end of the day, you got to realize he got power too. He's like, I started walking forward. I was like trying to set him up. But like I said, he was scary. Like, he was real scary. Like, he'll throw a punch and then he'll lean back all the way back, jump out all the way back, and try not to give you rhythm to set up combination. So like I said, I'm back in the gym. I'm going to work hard on my next fight, and I'm going to get better and better. And that's one thing we see with him. Even though his record, right? And he's only got 16 fights and with 8 KOs, and he's only 23 years old. He is young,
Yeah.
but if we're comparing, like you talked about Floyd Mayweather, and there's comparisons with these two because they were both top rank at the time, and they're similar defensive masters. But the thing is with Mayweather at the beginning when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, it was defense for sure, always airtight, but his offense was he was looking for the kill in
Yeah.
fights.
So let me ask you this, because of your experience. Can you teach a boxer the killer instinct? Or by the very nature of saying killer instinct, it's an instinct, it's unconscious. It's not like, you know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Can you teach it? Can it be taught?
I think so. Some things in boxing can't be taught. We're talking about power, speed, things like that that can be taught. You can improve on it, but you either have it or you don't. And now with while what we're talking about, with the killer instinct, I think you can improve that. I mean, like and that could be a combination of getting sparring partners that make you fight. They're hitting you and you gotta fight, things like that. You're getting pushed. Some like that, and you can come out of your shell if you're not that, because at the end of the day, this in this sport, we're entertainers, just like in any sport. Their athletes are entertainers, and that's the biggest thing, the money generated in the sport.
I know. Like the sad thing about that is, hey, I think you need a bigger mug. Why are you
this is my morning mug. I just needed a coffee now.
That's huge.
A big
like the size of your head.
Yeah, I'm all about the coffee, man. 1 or 2 a day.
You're staying up late tonight with that thing.
No, I go to bed, and I go to bed early.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm a good boy.
Must be decaf.
Huh? No, it's not. No way, it's not decaf. That's a waste, man.
But the thing is, and I think you feel the same way. As a purist, I'm okay if I don't see a knockout. I just want to see beautiful boxing. So I'm okay if I don't see blood and I don't see a knockout. I don't need it. Now he did have that flash knockdown.
Yeah, he really had two. The earlier one and the ref. That honestly, that ref, I had his name here and I I forgot it. He was annoying, man. He stop stepping on the foot. Like, it's gonna happen with a southpaw and a right-hander all the time. It's gonna happen. Stop. Yeah. He kept saying it every round. Like, dude, it's gonna happen. Just chill.
Exactly. And that's what happens. They're both trying to get their foot on the outside, so they're gonna step on each other.
Yeah.
But I'm very pleased with the performance. The other thing is it possible, in your opinion, that if he had a better opponent, let's say, a more experienced, better opponent that had fought better people, I think he would.
I agree. Because sometimes a fighter will come down, and I'm not saying Nakathila was, but he had no recognizable opponents on his record and stuff. He was really an unheard of fighter, never really fought out in Namibia and Africa and stuff, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
And he was came straight forward. Not a lot of angles, some big wild swings as well, and swing and misses, and not a lot of head movement with his attacks as well. So,
not really. One thing with Doc, you're saying that, like, if you're a power puncher, and generally the fighters, they do their homework, they get their coach or whatever to look what does this guy do, set the game plan up and all that. This guy watch over that. So I mean, like, if you're a power puncher, you let the guy taste a little bit of that power at the beginning, so he know, rather it even be like he blocks it and you hit him on the arm, but you're gonna feel that, oh damn, this guy, he can hit. I gotta be careful. And
Right.
Shakur said that he had to be very careful in this fight, and
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, and I'm personally I'm fine with that because that's what the game is. It's hit and don't get hit. And if he's already hard to hit at age 23, I think that bodes well because it's way harder to learn defense than offense.
Yeah, you're totally right. Okay, and then talking about that, Stevenson. So in this fight, he landed 46.5% of his power punches. And in his career, he's averaging 46.8 punches thrown punches thrown per round.
That's amazing.
Amazing. His opponents have only landed just 4.4 punches a round.
That's less than Mayweather.
Yeah.
Mayweather was just under 20 punches per round.
But you can't compare because look who Mayweather fought right at this state of their careers. Mayweather already beat Corrales at this stage.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And undefeated Diego Corrales, big puncher.
Yeah.
And his opponents are and they only 4.4 punches per round and 12.8 total punches in the fight his opponents land. 12.8% total punches.
That's low, man.
Yeah.
He didn't even look marked up after the fight.
He had a little thing there at it, but he didn't even get hit that much.
Yeah, that may have even been his own glove hitting him after blocking a shot.
Yeah, and that's when you show that guy the power, then he's gonna be careful.
Good point. But we do know that his next opponent is gonna be tough.
I mean, then we can start talking about that. So Stevenson expects, and this is what's expected, is that it's going to be Herring because Jamal Semperfi Herring, he was in this crowd too.
Yeah.
And he was, so that always an indicator when they had the opponent at the fight.
Yeah, exactly. And they're both top ranked guys, right?
And that's a big thing. They're both top ranked because they're going to be made easier. Herring is a WBO champion.
Yeah.
And Shakur is a WBO intern. All these silly balls.
I mean, I like Herring a lot. I like the way he fights, especially his last few fights. I know he had a rough go in the middle, but this is going to be a tough fight for Stevenson. This is where we're going to see how good he actually is.
Yeah.
He'll be at 130.
Yeah, 130. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be but I think so. Then the other guy is Oscar Valdez at 130, WBC champion, and another top ranked fighter as well, too.
Yeah.
So
but why would he fight? Why would they put him with Valdez first? You know what I mean? Because why would Valdez want to take that fight if he's got an interim belt? Let him beat, if he can, Herring. Now he's got a real belt. Now it's a better pickings for. Now there's more motivation, more reason for Valdez to take that fight.
Yeah.
From belt.
Right. If you care about the belts that much, and a lot of fighters do nowadays, it seems like it. But Shakur is even saying here too that like he'd rather fight Valdez. He'd rather have a fight with Valdez, is what he's saying. He's like Herring's gonna be like easy pickings for him.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the real reason. Of course he wants Valdez because Valdez has notoriety now.
It's a bigger money fight
than Herring.
Yeah.
So of course, he's got even less to lose, Stevenson, fighting Valdez than he does Herring. I think he's got more of his reputation to lose by fighting Herring than Valdez, especially because of Valdez's last performance.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah.
When knocked out Burchell. I don't know, Doc. I feel like this is very interesting,
Yeah.
right now, because and this fight they're saying it's gonna happen in September or October with the fight with Herring, Stevenson and Herring. Um, it will let if this is the fight that happens. Let's see. I think this kid. I honestly think between him and Jerome Booth Ennis are the top guys in boxing that are not known that well, but
Mhm.
are the guys that are gonna be. But maybe Shakur may be leading that pack because he seems more proven because of his amateur background and silver medal at the Olympics.
True,
And
true. But you know what's interesting? I got a buddy of mine into boxing, more and more into boxing, and you know, just helping him see all the little subtleties of boxing and the beauty of it. And he sends me videos of stuff now. And I told him I had him check out Boots, right?
yeah,
Ennis.
yeah,
This is a guy that doesn't know a lot about boxing. He
yeah,
was completely blown away by Ennis's
love it.
movement and
Yeah,
the way he punched and his combination punching. I still see Ennis. I just like the way he throws combinations, and he throws a lot of combinations in each round. Where Shakur, and maybe he'll mature more with that. It's a lot of 2-punch combinations, 2, 3, the odd 4-punch, but a lot of quick snapping 2-punch combinations. As
yeah,
opposed to Ennis, who's like a 3, 4, 5-punch combination guy.
yeah, yeah. She's right, and he's got the mustard on the shots. Like those
Yeah,
shots, they make sounds. Like he's making sounds when he's throwing those shots. Like
yeah,
he's going for it, right? Which sure
yes,
you don't really necessarily see that, but he may happen. We'll
yeah, and
see.
they so young.
Well,
Oh my God, he's young.
yes, very young. To be mature at this age is very commendable. For we can all remember being like that age and how we didn't. I didn't. I did, but I didn't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that mentality like Shakur Stevenson does.
yeah. It's pretty mature kid actually. So I think at the end of the day, if he fights either guy, it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Like great, like look, so many fights even at this weight class and all weight classes in boxing.
Yeah,
Just Bob Arum says about because I respect Bob Arum. Like he's one of he's probably the biggest, not now, but he's one of the top rank is massive in boxing, right? And that has a lot of history. Shakur is, and I said when we first did our first fight, a future star in the sport of boxing, a
yeah,
future superstar. I look at him as a southpaw version of Floyd Mayweather, and I think he will exceed the performances by Floyd. I just think he's a rare talent, and I think he's a young man who's growing in size. And I think 130 pounds will be a brief stop in his career before he's going to go into welterweight and maybe even junior middleweight. And one other why they make the comparison with Floyd as well too is because these guys aren't going to get too much bigger. They're going to get a little bit bigger and go into a few other weight classes, right?
true.
Like Mayweather did. It was
Yeah,
not 8 weight classes like Pacquiao and 4 weight class 5 like De La Hoya. Like they not like that.
true. And I think if he does clean out this division at 130 in the next maybe year or so, 2023, I see him going up to 135,
Yeah, for sure.
which
For
would
sure.
make it even more exciting than it already is 135.
Definitely wherever he goes. He may be the guy that's gonna be.
You know what?
Yeah,
You're right.
he may be. He may
Yeah.
be the guy that we're gonna be hearing more and more about for years to come.
Yes,
He
I
may
believe
be.
so. I
Yeah.
believe it. Yeah.
Okay, then Doc, well then we'll just head over quickly. I don't know, sorry, to the Virgin Hotels in Las Vegas. This was actually the same card actually. The fight before this fight, and that was Jose Sniper Pedraza, who now is 29-3, 14 kills, 8 rounds stoppage over a previously undefeated Julian Hammerhead Rodriguez, who now falls to 21-1, 14. Rodriguez is another one of those eyes swelled up, and then he told his corner he couldn't see, and then that's it. If the fighter said I can't see, you got to pull the plug. That's very dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see that fight. I didn't watch
either. Either did I. So don't worry.
No, but when I think of Pedraza, I mean, I remember his fight against Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Even though Lomachenko pretty much dominated him, he's still got skill and talent, and was able to tag Loma a few times, but it shows you the levels again.
I know,
because I think Pedraza is at the top.
Oh, you're right, but not that level.
You got it.
Yeah,
you got it. He's in the mix of all those guys that are here, but not those few guys here.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's here, but he's not. He's one of like an intern type of guy, but he's not one of those. He's an intern champion type of guy, but he's not one of these Ring Magazine champions or whatever like that.
Yeah, I agree. Still a fun guy to watch because he comes forward and he throws a lot of punches.
Puerto Rican, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then Doc, so then we can just talk about all the fights that are happening this weekend. And there's
my God,
there's a whole slew of fights.
This is crazy this weekend.
Yeah, I know. It's a Boston fans dream come true, but nightmare too, because it's like, how are you gonna watch everything?
Yeah, you just can't. You gotta pick and choose and then stick with it.
I know what I'm gonna watch first, and that's the first fight that I have on the list here, and that's the IBF WBO lightweight titles. This is Miami, Florida, and on Triller Network we got Defimo, the Takeover Lopez, versus George Ferocious Cambrosa Jr.
Yeah.
Lopez 16-0, 12 KOs, and Cambosa's 19-0, 10 KOs.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of on YouTube. I don't know if you noticed. There's a lot of.
I've been watching it.
You've been watching a lot of Teofimo, sort of what they call sparring fails. Have you noticed that?
Oh no, I haven't seen. No.
But it doesn't. It's from years ago, and I don't think it means a hell of a lot, to be honest with you. And sparring is still different from being in a fight. And I think that type of criticism, I mean, it's entertainment, I guess, but I don't think it holds water when it comes right down to a fight. Because the fact is, he's undefeated. He's got 12 KOs, and he's got power. He's got speed, and he looks good in his pro fights. Forget about how he looks in his sparring. I don't really.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, what
okay. No, I agree with you. You can't take much from sparring, but the thing is, one thing that they're doing is like when a fighter is there, when people are at a high level, people try to bring him down and whatever. Lopez is right here. I know this guy. He has a mentality, he has a mindset, him and his dad, and they're trying to be, look, they dismantled one of the pound for pound best guy in boxing, Lomachenko, and made him really reconsider what his worth is in the sport. Like, are you really as dominant as you what everyone thinks you are? Mm-hmm. I'm the guy here and in this weight class.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you can't take much from the sparring, sparring. But what I wanted to say is that this fight is like, and a couple other fights that are happening this weekend, mainly the other Charlo fight. These are just fights that are these are the fights that are supposed to be here, that are gonna go up like that, and then they're going to fight bigger guys at a higher level right now.
Yeah, I mean, but those guys at that level, they gotta fight each other. So to determine who should fight the top guys in those.
Yeah,
fights.
well, these opponents aren't gonna do anything. I'm telling you, like Cambosos. And first of all, I don't even like the guy. Like I've watched a lot of the interviews and a lot of the, and he's pretty arrogant and and speaking down on Lopez. Like give the guy respect, man. Like he's gonna and Lopez quietly said it like this. There's levels to this, and you're gonna find out. And that's what it is, man. We're gonna see on Saturday. I guarantee you there's levels gonna be shown in this fight. Why Lopez is here and why Cambosos. And we're talking about a guy that had trouble with Lee Selby, Cambosos, Lee Selby, and Mickey Bay, and
you know, I agree with you. He's gonna see something different Saturday night. The other thing that was funny, I watched their first press conference on Triller, and I noticed I'm looking at them when they're standing face to face.
They wear the heels.
Yeah, what the hell, man? That was so obvious.
Probably like an Australian Aussie thing. I don't know what to do.
I think he did that on purpose to be taller, seem taller to Lopez. But he's about 3 inches shorter than her.
He's shorter than Lopez. He looked like a clown up there with those big ass shoes on.
That was weird, man. That was almost obvious. You know what Sugar Ray Leonard used to do? What he would do is when the referee's giving their instructions, right before the fight starts, Sugar Ray would stand up on his toes so he was taller than his opponent.
That's what I do for pictures, just so I look taller. They kind of like that, eh?
I love it because in his autobiography, Sugar Ray Leonard, he talked about, hey, whatever psychological advantage he could get, he would take.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's brilliant, man. Yeah. I love that.
But when you do it wearing like obviously like shoes that are like 3-inch platforms, it's not like it doesn't do much, honestly. It doesn't do much.
And Camboso should really thank Defimo for getting him a payday of this stature, man. Like it was only because of Defimo that they're getting paid like this 5 point something for Defimo and 2 million for Cambosos. He never got purses like that.
No, you're right. But maybe this is all just part of the entertainment factor to get people excited or interested in it.
For sure. I think it's their first event, Trillers. Is it their first one? No, sure, not Trillers. I mean,
it is Triller.
It is Triller. I think, but this is the new one with like they're gonna bring Lampley in.
Yes.
Lampley is gonna be doing the color commentating. That's gonna be good.
I haven't read that yet, but right.
Yeah, he's doing it for this fight.
That's gonna be weird hearing Lampley's voice
without Merchant and
HBO. Yeah.
I like Max Kellerman too. I liked him a lot. He was good.
Just a smart, knowledgeable boxing guy.
And with sports in general, Doc. He's on this show. He is one of these ESPN shows. And he's on that one. Oh, with the guy that you like. What's that guy's name? Stephen A. Smith.
A for asshole. I hate that guy. He's actually so unknowledgeable about boxing. It's so pathetic.
I know. He shouldn't even talk about it.
He's an entertainer.
He is. Apparently people like him, so he's been on there for a while.
He's like a clown at a kid's party.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Stephen A.
Yeah.
That's what they call him, Stephen A.
Yeah, we know what they.
Yeah. then we're gonna go up. There's another fight then as well too, Doc, and I got the shirt on too now. And while the monster, he's making his. I think this is his second fight in the U.S. He's 20-0, 17 KOs. It's the third IBF title defense. He held titles at one. He's a three division champion, 108, 115, and 119. He's fighting Michael Hot and Spicy Desmaranas, who's he's a southpaw. He's from Philippines. He's from the Philippines, so he's gonna be. But I was looking at his record.
Yeah.
And there's, well, I mean, it's bantamweight, so we don't really know many names in bantamweight division, but we definitely didn't know any on his record, and a lot of the fighters on his record were almost below 500.
Yeah.
Like, he only had like 5 maybe with really good records, or 3 with really good records. I don't know. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, like is this a mandatory fight for Inoue? It must be, right? IBF mandatory.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Wait, no. Yeah, well, yeah, this is the number 1 IBF guy.
So just because of the guy's record, it shouldn't automatically mean he becomes the contender, right? The mandatory. It really should be more based on who the guy's beaten, right?
It should. But I've seen it. I've seen the way rankings can work and how they can be manipulated, and how if you pay this sanctioning body X amount of money, I'm gonna get this guy ranked a little bit higher, so then you can fight him even though he's like a rank 25, but then you can fight him a little better because he's ranked higher. But he's really like there's so much of that happens, that kind of stuff.
Wasn't there also like a little controversy way back when with Sergio, what's his name, the Argentinian, Sergio Martinez, and he was supposed to be to fight, but they put what's his name, Chavez Jr. in to fight, and it was because he was Mexican. He had a relationship with the WBO president.
Oh yeah, right.
Remember something like that?
Yeah, it was something like that, right?
Right. So that was another example of manipulation to get fights with using the belts.
Using the belts,
they gotta clean that shit up.
Well, they ain't gonna never do that, man. Like, it's gonna always be around. There's so many belts in boxing. This is the way it's gonna be. But at least what we're seeing is, like, I've told you my angle on it. I like that the belt thing. I don't like there's so many, but I like that the fighters get an opportunity to make a little more money than they could have made had they never only been 1 champion per weight class. They never would have got a title.
True, fair.
So the sport is deadly, man.
Yeah, and it's fair, but I think. And I get that aspect. I guess I'm seeing it more from the fan point of being.
And I got to look at it like that too.
Yeah. See, we have our intrinsic biases.
Yeah, well, intrinsic. That's a big word. Let me write this one down.
That down.
I or is it E? I. Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So obviously, you're picking Inoue in this fight.
100%. I mean, it'd be a knockout. One thing about Inoue is, like, look at a guy that is so strong for his weight, like pound for pound, that he's like a better BF in better BF's weight class, but he's like in this weight class.
Is he ranked anywhere in the pound for pound yet, or no?
Yeah, he's been ranked in a lot of the things, as some of them were number 1 when he beat Donaire. Was number 1 in some that were sanctioning whatever they do.
Man,
is he
you okay? All right there?
Yeah.
You okay?
She draws some. Jeez, man, stop doing that.
I think she dropped one of your trophies.
Oh no, you can't even go near those.
Oh, that's right. It's protected by those light beat
Yeah,
laser.
laser beams. There's like a cover over it, and you can't even see it. Like there's like cloth over it. What's under there? I thought you never asked. So just like the fight that we do want to see at bantamweight is a rematch with Donaire and Inoue. And Inoue was saying like he's like in regards to this rematch, he's like a rematch with Donaire wasn't something that he imagined. He was saying after the first fight, but he's like, but now is like, but not at all. He is back and he's being a champion once again thanks to the hard work. And we may see that fight was great. The first fight, we may see a rematch.
Yeah, I think that was the first time Inoue got cut.
His orbital wasn't it his orbital bone or it was broken.
Yeah, and he was bleeding as well. He had a cut over it too. Yeah. But what a fighter, man! Oh, what a fighter he is! What a boxer!
Yeah, love him. Yeah. Great fighter. Okay, then Doc. Then we're going over to Houston, Texas, home of both of Jermel and Jamal Charlo. But we have the WBC middleweight title at stake, and it's Jamal Charlo fighting Juan Macias Montiel, who's number 4 in the WBC. Charlo's 13-0, 22 KOs, and this will be his 4th title defense. Mm-hmm. And Montiel is 22-4 to 22 KOs. His first title fight, and unbeaten in 4 fights, Montiel. But another guy. Remember what? Doc. Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
Talk go on. No, remember what I was saying? Like some of these fights are these fights that are just fights that are supposed to catapult these guys into the next bracket of the top tier, top tier fight, because Montiel, he was stopped in 2 rounds by Jaime Munguia. He only managed a draw against Hugo Santillo and Santillo Jr., who Charlo stopped in just two months earlier. Stopped in 2 rounds 20 months earlier.
2 months would be a quick turnaround.
It would. So
but this is what I don't understand. Why isn't Charlo right now fighting the other best guys in that weight division?
160
guy.
I mean, one is that it's going to be a showcase. It's at home. Nobody likes to lose at home.
Good point.
I think that just combined with, fighters are gonna take that easy road when they can get it, until they have to be forced into a fight that's a more tougher.
True, and it's because he's fighting at home. It's good gate money. Like there's a lot of it, man. Good exposure. So I get it. But if this wasn't a fight at home, he wouldn't be fighting this guy.
I doubt.
I think that's what it's more about.
And then anyway, so we also have, speaking of Jaime Munguia, he's fighting as well too. Munguia's only 24, he's 36-0, 29 KOs, and he's fighting Kamil Sermantia from Poland, who, if we remember, he's KO'd in the 7th round he's a good boy, by Triple G, Gennady Golovkin.
Big drama show.
He's good fighter.
I don't expect a lot from this fight, to be honest with you.
Nobody does. Munguia, I used to be like, he's another guy you can throw into the ones that him and Charlo would be a good fight.
But I really think this is one dude that is beatable.
Charlo?
No.
Totally. I agree.
We've seen struggle.
Dennis Hogan beat him when they fought. Remember that one?
Absolutely, the Australian.
Yeah.
I really did think I scored it in Hogan's favor. Munguia, I want to see something different from this dude. Like I want to see a little bit of defense from him. But he's very susceptible to counter.
Yeah, but you know those Mexican fighters, they're not, instead of hiring he's now with Eric Morales, and Eric Morales, is not a defensive specialist.
No.
Right?
No, I think he's better at math than defense.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. But
I'm gonna watch it because I do like watching Munguia fight. These long arm
action
guys and have the power. It's an action-filled fight, so it's fun to still watch.
Yeah, agreed. Just another one to throw into the mix of fights, and then there.
There's another one on the card. I can't remember who it.
Inwell, Jamal Charlo. Oh, there's also what was that? No, there was. I think that's.
Is that it?
But there is some exhibition. There's an exhibition. Do you know that Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales are gonna have a fight?
No.
They're fighting. Yeah.
No.
It's happening next month. Exhibition.
Wow. I mean, I'll watch it. They're legends. They're both legends. But how old are they now?
They gotta be in their 40s, like
late 40s, I think.
Late 40s, yeah.
Late 40s, yeah. I mean, I'll watch it, but we're not gonna see the Morales or Barrera of old.
Yeah.
Like the olden days.
Like the first fight.
Oh man, what a war.
I always say that Morales and Barrera, the first fight, was probably like the best fight I've ever seen. Like that was probably the best. I couldn't even believe it, man.
Oh man, it was crazy. And when you thought one guy was starting to take control,
that right away the other guy's back on, and you're just like, what? They're and they had so much hate towards each other that it spilled into the ring, and that's what made it like so much of a better battle.
And then you had the Mexican pride in there too.
Yeah, for sure. The machismo.
Yeah, so that's in a month or so, that fight.
I think that's next month.
There was also on the weekend, there was Clarissa Shield debuted in MMA in the PFL, it's called, league. Did you watch that at all?
I didn't. And that's what it's called, PFL league.
What's that?
PFL league. That's what it was.
Yeah. And I think it's almost like a feeder league, where girls are trying to get into the UFC. So
like an audition.
Almost, or like the minor leagues of.
I see.
Hockey, right?
Yeah.
So did you watch that at all?
No.
It was in an octagon. It was 3 rounds with a girl that was skilled but had a lot of losses on her record.
Yeah.
Obviously on the ground, Clarissa was, she was getting dominated, but then in the 3rd round she TKO'd her. But one thing about Clarissa Shields, what I do like watching, what I did enjoy watching is just she's got the beautiful, how there's a big difference between the way MMA fighters punch and the way boxers punch. And there has to be, just because kicks can come and all this stuff. But to watch her throw her 1-2s on the odd time she was able to get them off, it was like nice, man. You saw the difference in striking skill of a pro.
Oh,
like
yeah,
her.
I bet. Yeah.
But she ended up winning. Winning the 3rd round. Lost the first 2 rounds, won the 3rd round, and then won the fight with a TKO.
So like I think with Clarissa and maybe you can correct me on this or the reason why, but so I think like, is it because she went to USC or MMA fighting, because the money is better? Is that why? Because I
Uh,
know she was complaining a lot about the money that women's
yeah.
boxing was getting
So it's
and
interesting
stuff.
because in general, the men, the top guys in males in boxing make a ton of
Yeah,
dough. And I
yeah.
don't think the top males, except for like guys like McGregor and who's still pretty rare.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they make is equivalent in these big fights
Mhm.
like in boxing. But I think
Right.
it's worse for the women in
It
this
is,
case.
eh? Okay.
Clarissa was such a big name.
Yeah,
This was going to be a big fight, and she was going to make big money in the fight. She may stay. They say she may stay and have work her way to the top because it's like a tournament-based league, right?
okay.
Where you keep fighting better and better people as you go through. And obviously, when she fights in MMA, there's going to be interest because of her name, and she'll
For
probably
sure.
continue to make big money. I also think she
Good.
cleaned out the division though in boxing. Like,
Yeah. Aside from Savannah Marshall, that was the only fight that was really left out there. Savannah beat her in the amateurs,
right, right,
the British girl.
yeah. But I
But you're
haven't
you're right. There's not that much competition out there in women's boxing.
not when not right. Like you got top people like Taylor and all,
Yeah.
but then below them,
There ain't none
there's
nobody's.
not a lot. Maybe
Yeah.
two deep, two fighters
Yeah.
deep, and then below
Yeah.
the second, there's not a hell of a lot. Whereas
Yeah.
MMA, there's a lot more female fighters, and they're good. They're real skilled.
Did you know that one of the Serrano sisters, she's an MMA fighter too and boxer. Did you know that?
I did not know that. No,
Yeah, I saw that. I think she had maybe one or two fights. I don't know how many fights or she fought. I think she did fight. Excuse me. Yeah.
now there's
So
going to be another one of these like exhibitions where a former UFC champion Tyron Woodley is
yeah,
fighting
Chip
Jake
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, you better not. You're not allowed to. But I'm just I'm just joking. Well,
I agree.
what if Paul knocks out Woodley and then all the boxing guys can be like, yo, this guy knocked out he knocked out one of your USC guys.
Bragging rights. That's it.
Bragging rights. Yeah,
That's the only thing that will come out of this, really. Not
yeah,
much more.
yeah.
And by the way, Woodley lost his last 3 fights.
Oh,
So
he's looking for a little bit of a payday then.
he's looking for a payday. And according to him, it's a bigger payday than the money he made at the UFC. Now, Dana White had
For
something
sure.
different to say about it, but who knows? Somewhere in the middle is the truth. Who knows where?
Yeah. I would side with Woodley being saying the truth more than I would with Dana White. I don't think Dana White is that respectable for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But why are we seeing more of these exhibition type celebrity fights? Like there seems to be a little bit of a thirst for it. And maybe it's because of social media and the way the word can be spread about it.
100% it is.
Yeah.
For
Because
sure.
they disappoint these fights.
Yeah.
They're disappointing. They get hyped up and then it's just
Yeah. And one thing just quickly on that is like, so people are like, oh yeah, we think it's good because we're bringing fans to the sport, but they ain't fans, man. They're just gonna watch one fight and then they ain't gonna start watching like freaking Blair Cobbs or like any of those. But in a while, they
no
ain't
way.
watching those guys.
No, I don't think it actually does much for boxing at all.
Yeah.
Really don't.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't.
Hopefully it's like a fad and then it will phase out when people see, it's not worth the pay-per-view. The hype is bigger than the pay-per-view. So hopefully that happens and then we don't have to deal with it too much anymore.
Yeah. What I was just watching before we got on the Tyson Fury and Wilder. Pratt, first time they come face to face.
How was that?
press conference. What I just watched like 30 seconds of, and Tyson Fury, he's quite the character, right? Like the way he talks and stuff, and
Yeah.
oh, this is what it says, like, I'm gonna be like a big trolley, like that's like the trucks,
Oh, okay.
and speeding down the highway, and you go right through, right through. That's what it's gonna be like. I'm gonna go right through, smash right through him, right to bits.
That's hilarious. And I
Yeah,
bet he was throwing out the fact all the time. He was probably throwing out the fact that he knocked him out in their last fight. Like, what could Wilder say?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But that's gonna get a lot of views, that fight.
Oh, for sure. That it's a massive fight, and
Yeah.
who one the one thing with Wilder, we know how concussive of a puncher he is,
Yeah.
and because of that reason, he's interesting till the very last bell.
True. I mean, we saw him. He knocked him down and almost out in the 11th.
Yeah.
Fight, in their first fight. But I think you and I are on the same page as far as the prediction for that fight.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more about it as it comes closer to that fight time.
Fair enough.
So we got an hour out of this.
Wow.
But we'll talk next week about the fights that happened.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Yeah.
What a night of boxing that's going to be.
Yeah, and just quickly, because you did say Kambosos is gonna go, and my thing is, I was gonna. Lopez is gonna thoroughly annihilate him. Thoroughly, it's gonna be levels. Like, it might be quick.
It might be very quick. And he's got a deceivingly longer reach too, Lopez, than Kambosos.
Does he?
And I think that distance, once he catches Kambosos on the end of his punch, of his power, boom, lights out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe 4 rounds.
I like him. I really like Teofimo. He's a good young kid with his head on straight, and that's dangerous. And his dad's behind him 100%. And I like his dad too. His dad's not like Danny Garcia's dad. The truth is the truth. This guy.
Come on, man.
Man.
Yeah, I like him too. I think he's a pretty down-to-earth, focused trainer / father, and these guys come from, when they say they're going to do something, they do something. So it's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Okay, Doc, we out then. So until our next show next week.
You got it, bud.
We out.
Thanks, bud.
All right.